you doing, guys? Jujubear here. Welcome back to the channel. Now, as you can see, I've got a 2v2 lined up for you. Playing as the ARDIAEI. Very good faction to bring with these 2v2 battles. My teammate here has brought the SUEBI. And our opponents here brought Scythia and the Seleucids. Now, this battle was interesting because pretty much at the start of the battle, we were waiting for everyone to join in. And eventually someone quit. And I was like, what? That sucks, man. Do you guys want to keep playing? And they were like, it's up to you. And I'm like, what do you mean it's up to me? So apparently, my teammate was the one that quit. So the SUEBI are being controlled by the AI currently. And you know what the AI does when they're in control of an army? Even if it is a well-picked army, they're just going to go straight headlong into the enemy and not really think about what they're doing or use their units cost effectively. So I'm going to try and do my best with my army to kind of support or do whatever I can to try and salvage this battle. I'm basically going to follow the SUEBI into battle, this stupid computer, and see if we can get something out of this battle. So, Jujubear and the machine going to battle. Now, my opponents here have picked fairly good armies. I'll go through my own. So there's four camel archers at the moment. Now, what I'm doing here is bringing these Illyrian Marines, which are pretty much the rare spears, and I'm going to screen and throw my javelins at them. So 4 camel archers from the Seleucid player, 2 silver shield pikemen, and 3 silver shield swordsmen, 2 Syrian heavy archers, and 1 Hellenic cataphract. So a very expensive army here, and he doesn't really have a whole lot of units in that army here. So a bit of not to be rude, but like not a very good army pick there. So the Scythian player, on the other hand, has brought a rather good army. So 4-step armored lancers, 3 Scythian royal horse, so fairly good pick, 4 Scythian Amazonian riders, and 3 Scythian noble women. Bringing up the back here, he's got 2 Scythian royal skirmishers also. So very strong. Almost got some good shots into the rear of that step armored lancer. So baiting some very nice volleys immediately, straight away from the Scythian player. So it looks like the computer's just going to go straight for, I don't know, the center, wherever the enemy is. And I'm going to have to just follow him into battle and see if we can gang up on these Seleucid forces. So getting some fairly good shots in here. I'm going to turn around my Celtic warrior and get a good jab toss. See if we can kill a couple of these units. So these camel archers are taking a lot of losses at the moment, and they're kind of needless. Like, they don't really need to take any of these losses because they have the range advantage over me. I do have this slave slinger, but you know, these units have hardly any damage at all. Over on this flank, I've got a couple of marines as well, just kind of screening against these horse archers, which is the best that I can do. It's the only answer that I have to those units. So these units have big old shields, and they do have javelins that they could throw at the enemy. So I'm going to use that to my advantage to try and just ward them off. In the center, the SUEBI player has engaged the Seleucid player, and there's a couple of cavalry being thrown in here as well against spear wall and berserker units. So a bit of a mess in the center there, and it looks like the Scythian player is going to capitalize on that. Over on this flank over here, we are managing to do a fair bit of damage to a lot of these step armored lancer units, and I popped this unit into square, so just kind of being annoying. Oh, here we go. We got to send a charge into these silver shield swordsmen with my Celtic warriors, and also over here we charge into the flank of these silver shield swordsmen. His heavy archers are going to open fire on my slave slingers. Don't really mind about that. What I'm doing over here is we managed to catch his Hellenic cataphract. So I've got my Illyrian Marines just firing javelins into this unit, and I'm going to chase them off with our Illyrian cavalry. So with this unit, I'm trying to get around the flank and into his archers, and this big ball of... Oh, he's got 4 of them actually, 4 Syrian heavy archers. So I'm going to have to do something about them. So the SUEBI player is actually being quite useful in getting his noble riders behind enemy lines and just kind of being a nuisance. So at this point, I'm just going to try and finish off his Hellenic cataphract, because if I can destroy them, you know, these camel archers are probably going to start wavering as well. So with my Celtic warriors, I'm just kind of putting them near the enemy formation and just throwing my javelins, just unloading into these pikemen. Because I really don't want to charge into that. That would be a death sentence. So over here, you can see my Illyrian Marines doing a fairly good job, getting 20 kills on that unit and 46 kills on this unit. I didn't really expect them to get any kills, to be honest. I just kind of was hoping for them to make my opponent waste ammo on these fairly cheap units, which has kind of worked out for the best. Looks like my Illyrian Marines are going to get around the flank over here. He has engaged with his pikemen. At some point, I'm going to have to pull out with these units, but it looks like I'm getting around them, and I'm going to be able to do some recharges anyway. So the enemy general is... Oh no, general recently died. There we go. So we did manage to kill that general in that recent combat in the other part of the battle. So that's definitely a good thing. Over here on this flank, I've thrown in an Illyrian Noble Hoplite in Hoplite War up against a couple of Scythian Royal Horse. He is going to pile in a whole bunch of units, which is probably not the best thing to do. Illyrian Cavalry getting a few kills. I'm probably going to have to leave them in that battle because a lot of those units are lighter than my own, especially these skirmisher units. And I do have one Illyrian Marine over here that I'm going to have to pull across. This Wodenaz Spear General definitely has to stay in the battle if it's gonna you know, turn the tide, because a lot of these SUEBI units are going to be undisciplined, and they are definitely going to be needed for the late game. So managed to destroy a lot of these Seleucid forces. I don't know why I'm not charging into the rear of this unit. Yeah, again, Illyrian Marines just soaking up the fire from the enemy here. We are finishing off a lot of these Camel Archer units, and I'm going to train my fire on a different unit here. Mercenary Axe Warriors, probably not the best use of this unit, standing there and taking fire from my enemy. My Noble Hoplites are going to try and get into these Hellenic Cataphracts, get some kills there where they can. My Illyrian Noble Hoplites are over here, just kind of being a nuisance as well. But these Royal Horse units have taken quite a lot of casualties there. You can see like a javelin volley from my teammate there, just getting a lot of kills. So the Royal Horse is running out of ammo, and they do have the special ability Draco, which removes any bracing bonus that you have against the opponent. Gotcha! So very important that he keeps those units, but it looks like he's just throwing them away at the moment. Yep, none of them are left on the field. He's got his general over here, but that's about to crumble. My Illyrian Noble Hoplites holding up valiantly in the face of odds. So it looks like Draco has been popped, so you can see their bonus versus large has been dropped down to 5. So not going to be as effective as they would otherwise be. Looks like I'm forming up. Just kind of finishing off different units around the place. These Spear Wall are going to try and chase off those enemy units. My Slave Slingers are kind of trained on these units, just getting kills. I think this is a bug in the replay. This is absolutely a bug. Wow. I don't remember most of this happening in the last replay. This is bizarre. So, managed to destroy the Scythian Royal Horse General in this battle. My Illyrian Noble Hoplites are getting a few kills. The SUEBI General is still alive, which is not something that happened in the original battle. So I'm not completely sure what's happening here. This Royal Skirmisher is getting destroyed by 2 of these Longbow Hunters. The SUEBI player does have some units left, which is definitely not what happened in the original game. I'm just allowing my opponent here to fire into the rear of my units. This is really annoying. This is very annoying. Because this is absolutely not what happened in the original match. These Silver Shield Pikemen were not alive. At this point, I had destroyed all of the Seleucid forces' skirmishes anyway. But it looks like it's probably going to work out for the best. These Illyrian Marines just being a nuisance, getting some javelin tosses into these Amazonian riders. Illyrian Noble Hoplites, got a couple of those units left. Let me just put this into fast forward here because none of this rings a bell. Illyrian Marines finally finishing off that Seleucid player there. the SUEBI player is going to go and chase off those Seleucid forces. That's bizarre. In the original game, they came over here and got destroyed by the Scythian player. Yeah, looks like this is going to be a buggy replay here, which is unfortunate. Illyrian Marines coming in here. Probably going to get flank charged from this Scythian noblewoman. Yep, that's bizarre. Looks like I'm finally going to bring my Illyrian noble Hoplites. So in the original battle, the Scythian player had a whole bunch of units left over here, so he was able to kind of come up against me in the battle. But it's just so unfortunate that it's all gone now. I don't know what's going to happen here because, yeah, you can see I'm forming up a line here. This is very interesting. I'm forming up a line here to face the threat that is over here in the original battle. But in this replay, for whatever reason, it's bugged out, and now the threat is now behind us. So I don't know what's going to happen. Whether we can pull it off, we'll see, I suppose. So we'll put it in fast forward here. The SUEBI player's actually got a lot of units left, which was not the case in the original battle. So yeah, you can see this was from the original battle. I had the Illyrian Marines just kind of pestering against these Amazonian riders. It's funny that these camel archers are still left in the battle. I don't think any of these units were left. At this point, yeah, I was kind of attacking different units up the front, but they're all gone. So I think this kind of thing must happen whenever you fight a battle with an AI player. It absolutely is, because this wouldn't happen otherwise. This is very bizarre. Very bizarre. These Illyrian Marines are going to get attacked. Pretty sure I put them into square formation, which is strange. They get destroyed. And these Wodeness or Spear Wall are going to get destroyed as well. So at the moment it's just me and a couple of different units. But we managed to win the game. That was so bizarre. That was really bizarre. Yeah, this player here, D.A. Dammer, didn't actually finish the game. At the start of the match, he kind of pulled out. But I guess the computer, how it played in the original match, was different to how it played in this match. Don't know why. But yeah, in the end, we did manage to pull off the victory. Just trust me. But that was really bizarre. I guess that a lesson to be learned in all that. If you watch a replay where there was a computer or AI playing, then it's probably not going to be the same as how they played in the original match. Anyway, on that bizarre note, this is Jujubear signing out. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.